You're listening to the Hope Not Nope podcast
with Doc Dylan
and Brandy.
We empower high performers with a three-part strategy of hope,
Self-agency, goals, and proven frameworks,
so that you can reach your potential
and the highest quality of life. How's it going? Thanks for tuning in for this episode of the Hope Not Nope podcast. Our question is from a listener named Nick. And Nick said, I missed out on my junior season because of an injury and have the dream of playing college football. Is this just a pipe dream now because I missed the entire season? Oh, and it's April, which means like senior season starting probably soon if you're not already in like lifting and stuff.
Yeah. Transfer portal? High school? No, just kidding.
Definitely, he's like play college football, so he's definitely in high school.
Reclass? No.
Can you reclass for football?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, Nick, it's not a pipe dream. Banter aside,
Yeah.
it is not it's not a pipe dream. It just might look different than what you initially planned, which is common. I think it's more common than not. I think I was reflecting on this a summer ago. We were driving to meet a friend, and it was around a lake. And if you've ever driven around a lake, the roads have to follow the curve of the lake. So there's a lot of turns. You can't go super fast because of how curvy it is, but it's a beautiful drive. And part of me, in my impatience, was thinking, hey, this would be way easier if there was just a bridge. So we didn't have to drive around this whole lake. We could just go from point A to point B. But in that straight line path, you miss out on the beauty of the journey to get to that point. And so it might not be as fast. It might look a little bit different, but there's so much that can be gained in that process. And the same is true here. Like you playing college football, it's not a pipe dream. It can still happen. It just might be a little bit different. And honestly, like college football, like I don't know if your goal is to just play college football, if it's to go D3, D2, D1,
Right.
you know, JUCO, whatever that may be, but there's still a lot of opportunity ahead of you, and so much weight is put on these kids in their junior season of football. Like you gotta get this on films because it's your recruiting time, and this and that. If you don't know by the end of your junior year, you're not going anywhere. Well, for the Power Four Division I school, sure,
Yeah.
like absolutely, like even with that, like let's back up to your sophomore year and your freshman year and your eighth grade year.
Yeah.
Like you need to be a standout early on in order to go to Power Four, especially now with the transfer portal in college, that you don't have to just be top of the line high school athlete, because now they can recruit from all the other college programs to bring in the best athletes. So
Right.
the competitive pool at the highest level has never been more competitive than it is now. That doesn't mean that the lower levels aren't competitive. It just means that there's a lot of opportunity in there. If you want to go D1, it used to be that if you played JUCO, that was 2 years of your eligibility gone. And then if you transferred out of JUCO, you had to sit for a year, which then gave you 1 to 2 years left to play. Now, JUCO doesn't count against your 4 years of eligibility.
Wow.
You don't have to sit out a year transferring in. So you go 2 years JUCO, build back up what may have been missed, quote unquote, from your junior season, and do what you need to do to get back into the Power Four school if that was your goal.
Right.
If that's not your goal, there's this illusion or misinterpretation that by the end of your junior year, you have to know exactly where you're going, what coaches you've talked to, have you been recruited, have you gone on to the college visits.
It's just a lot of pressure to put on a 16 or 17-year-old.
It's a lot of pressure. And like the reality is, crush your senior year, they're going to find you.
They're going to find
They're going
you.
to recruit you. My senior year after the football season is the first time a college coach reached out to me.
Wow.
And I went through about 3 months of every day a college coach recruiting me after lunch to come play football for them at Division III, Division II level. And like I didn't even know at that point that you're supposed to, quote unquote, get recruited by your junior year. This was all after my senior year.
Right.
Because like, hey, where are you going? I don't know. What do you want to study? I don't know.
Yeah. You might have benefited from this conversation.
Might have benefited from a little,
Yeah.
a
little more direction.
a little more direction. But it's definitely not it's not a pipe dream. You can still accomplish it. And I think now knowing that, it's having hope.
Yeah.
Not wishful thinking, but trust in the strength, trust in the destination, trust that what you're going through is going to work for the good, trust that you're going to come out of this learning things and being more ready to cope to adversity and to take adversity, to be more disciplined. You're going to come out of this. You should come out of this better than previously. It gives you a new appreciation for the game, something we've talked about on other episodes. But now, like every moment of practice, you're grateful for.
Yeah.
Which is a hard place to be because football practices, there's not every moment that you're grateful. You're doing up downs because the lineman went off sides for the 20th time in a row. Team can't go on two, but coach keeps saying, go on two. Wow, you just want us to do up downs for 3 hours? Great. Personal experience. But
Gotta love football.
I love football. But it gives you that excitement and joy of being back. And don't get caught up on looking too far down the road. Okay, cool. You have the goal to play college football. Awesome. What's the next control that you can take care of for that to come to fruition? One, you have to crush your sports rehab. You have to build capacity. You have to get strong. You have to stay in shape. You have to come out with better coping mechanisms. Take care of that now. If you're waiting to get cleared from sports rehab based on a timeline and you're not building back the strength or taking it seriously, you're setting yourself up to be back on the table instead of back out on the field. So take care of what is presently in front of you, knowing that when you start taking care of it one by one, momentum builds and you're going to achieve that goal. But the first goal is you have to get back on the practice field. To get back on the practice field, you have to be cleared from sports rehab. To be cleared from sports rehab, if you're with a good sports therapist, you should have to clear functional tests and strength tests, not just a timeline of, well, it's been 6 weeks. You're good.
Should be good.
No,
Yeah.
it's been 2 months. You're good. No. What's your strength? What's your power? What's your capacity? What's your mindset getting back into this? Take care of all those things. So yeah, set the goal, work backwards. What's the next controllable that you can take care of in this present moment? And know that just put the work in, stay disciplined, and the opportunities will start to open themselves up. And then there's a lot of other things you can be doing in the process, like looking at summer camps to go to if that's when you're going to be back from the injury. You can start looking at what are the top schools that you want to go to, and what is the path to get to those schools. Like you can start taking these steps even though that you were out for your junior season.
Right. I also want to add this in there, not to be a jerk, but like how bad do you want this? Like you say that it's a goal, but like how bad do you really want this? Because I think that some people can say that, oh, I want to play college football, but they're choosing the easy or the lazy way out, or just being lazy in general in the midst of whatever is going on. And at some point in your high school career, you need to have a switch of like, I'm taking this seriously. I'm not just like your high school program, I would say most of the time is not going to be enough to get you to a D1 Power 4. Like
Right.
you need to put in the extra hours outside of your high school program. There are probably some that can, but I'm just like the majority of high schools throughout the United States is what I'm kind of saying. But that being said, like how bad do you want this, and are you willing to make sacrifices in other areas of your life in order to accomplish this goal that you have? Especially like if you missed out on your junior season of football, that was months ago. It's now the springtime. Senior season is going to be starting soon if it hasn't already. Hopefully the injury you had wasn't, an ACL 9-month type of thing and it was a shorter, or if it was that, you're already like close to the end of that timeline, but that doesn't mean that the functionality is back yet. But
Right.
even so, all that, like, are you willing to put in the extra work? Are you willing and able to lock into nutrition and sleep and just all the things that are needed? I just think that question needs to be asked.
Yeah.
Like, how bad do you want this?
Well, and adding onto that too of, hey, it may look different than the way that you thought it was going to look.
Yeah.
You may have thought that like I'm going to go dominate my freshman, sophomore, junior, senior season. Coaches are going to come find me. I'm going to sign the line and I'm there. Cool. I can take easy classes. I don't have to worry about academics. Like football is my ride. And hey, if you're in the top 1% of talent, like it can be. And you can get paid very well for that now.
Yeah.
You could be before as a pro, but now as a college athlete, you can get paid very handsomely for that. But the play might look a little different of like, hey, maybe academically is the way that you get to college and then you walk onto the football team.
Right.
Like there are other paths available that you just have to be willing to walk down and say like, hey, I'm not just going to be an athlete, but I'm going to be a student athlete. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of really good schools, doesn't matter the division, that are very academically competitive that will set you up for success long term
Mm-hmm.
while also being able to walk on and play for the football team.
Yeah.
Like you can get an academic scholarship. Hey, guess what? Your school's paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Now you get to go play football versus kind of going and having like a C average,
Mm-hmm.
walking onto a team, needing to work part time in order to like have some funds coming in to pay for the stream,
Right.
which people do that, and it's incredible that they can manage that. But yeah, how much do you want it, and what are you willing to do for the sport, and how much are you willing to do outside the sport for it to come true?
Yeah.
Because we got to think too now, like at the Division 1 level and other levels where you can get paid, like that increases the competition too.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, it's not just scholarships. Now I can get some money in the bank. Some of this is like change your family's wealth for years to come. Like
Yeah.
some of these college athletes are coming into generational wealth,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes it more appetizing. It used to be like, no, you got a scholarship and you tried to get a degree, and then you be that extra less than 1% that makes it to the pro level and
Mm-hmm.
actually is able to stay in the pro level and make an income last for years. So it's yeah, it's not a pipe dream. It's just how bad do you want it and what are you willing to do for it, which has always been the case, but now with money involved, it's a bit more.
Yeah. And I just think like there's a big picture to be seen, and that's really hard for a 17-year-old kid to really see the big picture
Yeah.
of it all. No offense, but like more so speaking from experience and also knowing our family, like it's hard to see, or the other young people that I've worked with over the years, like it's hard to see the big picture in it all. And I hope that the wisdom and perspective that we've offered allows you to see there's different paths, there's different avenues, there's different ways to still achieve this goal. But it's not going to come by you sitting on the sidelines, not taking it seriously and trying to coast. Like
Yeah.
maybe you could get to a JUCO by coasting, but like if you love football, you don't want to settle
Mhm.
for that because you love the sport, you know? So I just, and not to, I don't want to sound bad and like negative towards JUCO either because JUCO
Yeah.
is a huge
Well,
accomplishment, but like,
I would even say that like we look at JUCO as like a lower level, but the reality is like none of them are settled either.
yeah,
Like
thank
they're
you for
not
changing.
settling.
Yeah,
Like
for saying that.
they are grinding, they are busting. Like when I played JUCO basketball for a little bit, like those were phenomenal athletes. It was
Hmm.
just they didn't have the resources to go to a bigger school yet, or their grades weren't there yet. So that was kind of their stopping ground. So some of the areas in their life needed some improvement.
Hmm.
Some just needed to develop. But like it was competitive.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was like, wow, these dudes can hoop.
So even more so, like you can't coast
You
into
cannot
this
coast and
goal.
be any level of college athlete.
Yeah.
Only ones that can are the ones that are super, super talented
Hmm.
and ride by on their talent, but don't put in the effort.
Yeah.
And the reality is there are a few that can do that.
It's
It
very
doesn't
low.
last
Yeah, it's
long,
very
but
low
it's very,
percentage.
very low percentage.
Yeah.
Like when you have the talent and the effort, like, oh, okay, now we got something long term. If
Hmm.
you have a bunch of talent but no effort, you get to somewhere, but you're not going to be there long.
Right. For sure.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts or wisdom to share?
The last thing I will share just on like the plan can look a little different. I don't want this to like dissuade Nick in any way because like, dude, you want to play college football, go play college
Yeah,
football.
get after
Go
it.
get the work in and do it done. But for some people, sometimes an injury happens that you don't get back to that capacity
Hmm.
that you're at. And one in particular, thinking of football is like a spinal cord injury.
Yeah.
Like you can want it as much as you want, but the reality is like, yeah, you might not walk again.
Hmm.
You might need a wheelchair for the rest of your life to be able to have mobility and get around. And so I also want to talk to that side of it, of working with some athletes in situations where that happens.
Mm.
And, you know, they're not able to play college football, but they're still a part of it.
Hmm.
And it looks different. Like they're not the athlete anymore, but they're the best coach that the program's ever had.
Hmm.
They maybe aren't playing football anymore, but now they're an Olympian in the Paralympics and wheelchair rugby.
Mm-hmm.
And so like there are times that it can look different, but it's still for the good. And just being open and saying like, hey, this adversity happened. This adversity is working for the good. And I'm going to go through it and I'm going to stay present and I'm going to try to remain grateful and I'm going to put in the effort in and just see where this goes. Like I've seen these paths kind of change and it'd be really hard on a person and on their family, but having the mental fortitude and the resiliency to say, you know what, it looks different and I own that and I'm going to move forward with the path that is available for me.
Yeah, I know like when I was a freshman and sophomore in high school, I wanted to play college sports.
Yeah.
And then my junior, like the truth is I wanted to play college sports, but I had injury my freshman year. And then I had a concussion and I broke my finger my sophomore year. So I didn't really get to play a full season in any of my sports without being injured. And
Mm.
then my junior year is when I had an injury that turned into complex regional pain syndrome. And then I couldn't really be an athlete for years to come. But having the perspective that like God is working all things for the good and pursuing the things that still make you you, even if it looks a little bit different. Like God can bring purpose out of that, and you never know how that's going to change. Like, sure, you might not be able to play a college sport, but I also never thought I'd coach.
Yeah.
And like, I loved coaching when I coached. I never thought that I'd be able to like train and be an athlete and be fit and all the things, but like eventually I was able to come back around to that. There's ways, and if you can be open-minded that it's going to look different than what you planned, but that doesn't mean that there's not purpose. Like there's still
Hmm.
purpose in the midst of that. I don't know, there's a greater surrender and trust in that I think is important.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I just say that not to dissuade Nick from wanting to go do this,
Yeah.
go get it done, but just for anyone listening that's like, yeah, no, sounds great, but like for me coming back to play college football is a pipe dream
Hmm.
because I don't have use of my legs anymore.
Right, right.
Like, okay, yeah, there's a point there.
Hmm.
So just to kind of bring it out to that full conversation, but kind of we'll try to do the takeaways. One, take care of the controllables that you can right now. If you're in sports rehab, own every rep. Bring focus to every rep. Bring it to the bigger movement. Do what you need to do to prep yourself. Build the strength, power, capacity, fortitude that's going to be needed to have a phenomenal senior season. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Yes, you lost out on this last season, but that's just a pixel in the whole picture. Don't focus on the pixel, focus on the picture. Start doing the things to build it back up from there. What's the next thing that you can accomplish on that path? Being open to a different strategy or different plan that's going to get you to where you want to get to, that's going to teach you and develop you, inform you in ways that you wouldn't have had if this didn't happen.
Hmm. Great.
Nailed them?
Great recap.
All
Yeah.
right, perfect. Hope story time.
Yeah. I just the hope story that I have, and you can add to this as well because I know you'll have kind of some things to share,
Is
but
it a donkey running?
no, it's not a
All
donkey
right.
running, but it does have to do with we moved into a new area within the past year,
Mhm.
and it's been really awesome to get to know a new community and things like that. And for us, we're young adults and we're going to a local church that is not young adults. There's a lot of older folk, but it's been really cool to see the way that they've been so welcoming.
Mhm.
Like it started off with, "Oh, new people. I'm excited. There's a new face here." But then it's turned into a few different people like intentionally coming up to us after mass, inviting us to things, following up the following week. And it really had me pondering when someone feels welcomed, it's not that they're welcomed in one moment, it's that the person continues to come back and helps them continue to feel welcomed. Like, there's one thing to be like, oh, welcome, and then like you don't continue the relationship. And then there's another thing to intentionally build the relationship and build up those people. And I'm just really thankful that we've been seeing the intentionality of, hey, you're in this community now. Let's like welcome you into it, as
Yeah.
opposed to like saying hi once, but then not like following up with it? So my hope
Yeah.
story is that.
Yeah. Something practical, very practical I want to take out of that is the invite with the follow-up and
Mm,
how powerful that is. It's not just an empty, hey, we got this meeting next week. You guys should come check it out. Cool. I did my due diligence, but it's the next week going, hey, just a reminder that meeting's tonight. I think you guys will love it. You should come check it out. And like, if not this one, the next one, I'm going to be there and it'd be great. We also have a neighbor that has invited us over, and during some of the weekdays when I'm out running around, Brandy's holding down the fort, getting work done here. She's like, hey, I'd like to get together. But it wasn't just this, I want to get together. It was, hey, we haven't got together for coffee yet. When are you available?
Yeah, she saw us walking, stopped us. When are you free? Like, very like invitation, follow up, invitation, follow up.
Yes. And that is, it takes the kind of
Great
empty,
coffee and great cookies when it did go.
yeah, it takes that empty feeling invite and makes it more practical of like, oh, you weren't just being nice. You actually want to get together and spend time.
Right.
And that's different. And we can spin that back to Nick.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you might have a great senior season and you get letters or coaches calling, but who's following up and making you feel welcome? Because as much as you want to be there, they got to want you to be there as well. And if you have that working, like,
I think of the one school, I won't say the school, but like Dylan got recruited by this one school, and you thought that like you couldn't afford it, so you just didn't even think that it was.
oh, I didn't take any of the visits. I was just like, I can't afford that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even gonna put attention
Right,
into this.
but they wanted Dylan, and they reached out consistently and consistently and consistently. And maybe if you had different perspective and different leadership, you may have taken it a little more serious, but
Yeah.
we can't change how that was. But like
Right.
they really wanted Dylan so much so that they filled out the college application for him and submitted it because they wanted him so bad on the team. I'm sure that that's not going to happen nowadays. It was a little bit different back in the early 2000s, but at the same time, like if someone wants it, they're going to make you know that they want you and that they value you, and you're not just like a person on the checklist, but like you specifically are valued.
I'll never forget that call from the coach.
You're accepted.
He goes, hey, did you hear the good news? No. You were accepted. Didn't know I filled out the application. Yeah, we took care of it. You're in. You want to come? Like, what?
That's awesome.
But yeah, Nick, we've been with so many athletes that have been in that position of just feeling like the dream is lost and it's a pipe dream, and don't trust in hope, but part of hope is not being passive, it's being active, to cooperate, have self-agency, goals, framework to go out and achieve it.
Yeah.
So, and you did, you submitted the question. Hopefully this sets you on the path that lights a little fire in you and gets you going a bit more. And if you're still grieving the injury, hey, you got to go through that process, but at some point you got to get over it and move forward and
forgive,
get to work,
let go,
build that
start
comeback.
working hard.
Because that comeback's then going to inspire the next athlete that has an injury in their junior season, that they get to look back and go, oh, this happened to this guy, and look what he got to.
Right.
So go do that. Have a great week, and remember, high performance isn't just about using the strategy of hope, it's about becoming hope.
Thank you for listening to the Hope Not Nope podcast. Please subscribe and share this episode. This podcast is for educational and personal development purposes only and is not considered health or medical advice. For personalized support, connect with a Hope Coach at hopenotnope.org.